This is the Marmot Crane Creek, the 2- and 3-person freestanding tent that tries to split the difference between a tough car camping shelter and something I can actually carry on my back without hating life. My first impression was simple, sturdy, not fancy. It looks like a tent built to keep water out first and chase ounces second. And that vibe proved true once I started using it. The shape is a classic dome with a short brow pole that runs side to side and kicks the walls more upright. That little cross pole sounds minor, but it opens up shoulder room, so I'm not brushing mesh every time I sit up. The body is mostly no-seam mesh with fabric panels where you want privacy and splash protection. The fly is polyester with a PU coating and fully taped seams, and the floor is seam-taped too. In my hands, the fabrics feel more rugged than the wispy stuff on ultralight models. If you're new to tents, denier is a basic measure of fabric thickness. Higher numbers usually mean tougher, and the Crane Creek leans into durability. The poles are 7000 series aluminum, connected by a hub at the center. Freestanding means I can pitch it on rock, then slide it around to find the right spot before I stake. 2 D-shaped doors, 2 vestibules. A vestibule is just that covered space outside the inner tent where I drop a pack, wet boots, or a stove if I'm careful and ventilated. Zippers feel smooth, doors open wide, and the color coding on clips and corners is obvious. The 2P footprint inside feels like a legit rectangle, roughly 86 times 50 inches, with about 43 inches of peak height. And I get plenty of headroom thanks to that brow pole. From my experience, setup is fast once the pole shock cord loosens up. Clit-style attachment is a win after a long hike. The only hiccup is that hubbed main pole can be springy when new. I had the ends pop out of a corner grommet more than once while seating the opposite side. A gentle twist and making sure each segment is fully seated solved it for me, but it's a real thing the first few times. The tent includes stakes, but I added a couple extras and 2 more guy lines so I can guy out the widths and both vestibules for storms. Weather is the headline. I've ridden out hours of hard rain, then a whole soggy weekend where my sight turned into a shallow puddle. The floor stayed dry, seams didn't creep, and I didn't wake up in a sponge. That's the payoff of a seam-taped fly and floor with proper coatings. Wind performance is solid for a 3-season tent when it's fully guyed. The pole structure doesn't fold like a lawn chair when gusts roll through, and the fly buckles feel secure. I did baby the central swivel a bit. Because it's a moving joint, I treat it like a weak link and packed a repair sleeve in the bag just in case. Ventilation is the biggest quirk. With the fly on, you get 1 roof vent and the door openings to manage airflow. In cool, still humidity, condensation builds up. That's normal physics. Warm breath meets cold fly. So I manage it by lifting the fly off the body with a good stakeout and cracking both vestibule zippers a few inches high. If you're new to this, condensation is not a leak. It's moisture from you collecting on the inside of the fly. Give the moisture a path out and it drops fast. On warm, clear nights, I pull the fly back, and the high mesh ratio turns it into a stargazing porch. Weight-wise, the 2P I carry sits around 5¼ pounds in the bag. Not ultralight, but not a brick. Split between 2 people, it's easy. Solo, I bring it when I want more space and fewer worries about fabric babying. The footprint is not included. I cut a cheap polycro sheet for abrasive camps and later grabbed the brand's footprint when I saw a sale. Key features that stand out to me are the fully seam-taped fly and floor, the aluminum pole set with the stabilizing brow pole, true freestanding pitch, and 2 big doors with usable vestibules. In my opinion, that combo creates a tent that I trust in bad weather without needing kid gloves. The waterproofing is the real deal. I'm picky about tents that claim water resistance, and this one actually backs it up. When I pitch with a slight bat wing on the vestibules, zippers cracked at the top and fly pulled tight, rain stays out and air still moves. The 2-door layout is worth its weight. I don't crawl over anyone at 2 a.m., and each side gets its own gear garage. Interior space feels bigger than the footprint because the brow pole straightens the walls. I can sit up, move around, and not headbutt the ceiling constantly. Setup is quick, tear down is clean, and the bag isn't a vacuum-sealed tube. I can get the tent back in after a wet morning without doing yoga. It's perfect for campers who want a durable 3-season shelter that can do double duty for car camping and short backpacking trips. From my experience, the 2P is a roomy solo palace or a cozy 2-person tent with real livability. The 3P works best for 2 people plus a dog, or two who want generous elbow room and big vestibules. There are quirks. The single roof vent means I need to help it breathe in damp conditions. The hubbed pole needs a gentle hand until it breaks in. I also chose to add stakes and guy lines for true storm mode. None of these are deal breakers for me. They're just part of how I set it up for success. I'd recommend this for newer backpackers who value reliability over shaving every ounce, for weekend campers who might meet surprise storms, and for anyone who wants a tent they don't have to baby. If you're chasing ultralight miles, this isn't your tent. If you want a tent that still looks and performs right years later, this one makes sense. In conclusion, the Crane Creek leans on strength, weather protection, and simple usability. It's PFAS-free, pitches fast, stays dry, and has the right creature comforts: 2 doors, real vestibules, and honest headroom. The trade-off is weight and a bit of vent management. That balance is exactly why I keep reaching for it when the forecast looks iffy or the campsite is unknown. Key features deliver where it counts, and the rest is easy to work around. Check the comments of this video for a link to see the current pricing of the Crane Creek. Thank you for watching.